In fact, that is the essence of what freedom is about and what democracy is about. You have a point of view, that's great. I have a point of view that is different than yours. That's great. Let's argue it out.
One bullet, one stage, and suddenly Charlie Kirk was gone. A political rally in Utah turned into a crime scene, and a 22-year-old is now behind bars. But this isn't just about an arrest. It's about what it says about America. If debate can end with a gunshot, then the real question is, what's killing our democracy? Let's find out. Charlie Kirk didn't die in a back alley. He died in front of thousands on a university stage in Utah. One bullet, one rooftop, and suddenly a conservative firebrand was gone. This wasn't random violence, this was political theater with blood on the script.
Surveillance footage from a building stairwell of a person of interest, a man appearing to be of college age, who police believe may be the one who, with one bullet, took the life of political activist Charlie Kirk in yesterday's horrific shooting at Utah Valley State University near Provo.
After the shooting, we were able to track his movements as he moved to the other side of the building, jumped off of the building, and fled off of the campus and into a neighborhood. Our investigators have worked through those neighborhoods, contacting anybody they can with doorbell cameras, witnesses, and have thoroughly worked through those communities, trying to identify any leads.
Then comes the twist. The suspect, 22-year-old Tyler Robinson, a college dropout, arrested in Utah just 2 days later. And who turned him in? His own father, after recognizing him in the images plastered on the news. That's not just a manhunt, that's a family breaking under the weight of truth. Watch what Trump has to say about it.
Yeah, can I always say, I think, just to protect us all, and so Fox doesn't get sued, and we all don't get sued, and everything else, but I think with a high degree of certainty, we have him. In custody, right? In custody. Everyone did a great job. We worked with the local police, the governor. Everybody did a great job. You know, getting somebody that you start off with absolutely nothing. And we started off with a clip that made him look like an ant that was almost useless. We just saw there was somebody up there. And so much work has been done over the last 2.5 days. You know, it's amazing, actually, when you start off with that and then all of a sudden you get lucky or talent or whatever it is. But yeah, I think we're in great shape.
Mr. President.
And he's in custody. I don't want to go too far. I'd like to tell you some stories at how it happened, but essentially somebody that was very close to him turned him in. And that happens when you had some of those good shots. Somebody is going to say, whether it's a parent or whatever, I'd rather not say right now. They're going to announce it today, sometime later, probably talk about that. But somebody close to him turned him, you know, they said, whoa. It's interesting where we had very good pictures, but not great, not perfect. And when you look at it, what happened is somebody, and this happens a lot. It happened with the crazy Boston bomber. It happened with others. Somebody that's close recognizes even a little tilt of the head, which nobody else would do. And somebody that was very close to him said, that's him. And essentially went to the father, went to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic, by the way. And the person was involved with law enforcement, but was a person of faith, a minister. And brought him to a U.S. Marshal, who was fantastic. And the father convinced the son, this is it. And again, I'm always subject to be corrected, but you know, I'm just giving you, based on what I'm hearing, they'll give you a much more active. I just heard about it 5 minutes before I walked in. As I'm walking in, they said, looking real good. They have the person that they wanted. So you have breaking news, don't you?
Think about that. In the end, it wasn't facial recognition or FBI surveillance drones. It was Dad watching the evening news. Investigators didn't just find a rifle. They found casings engraved with political messages, anti-fascist slogans, and ideological scribblings. Megyn Kelly discusses it with the right kind of confusion, which we can all relate to.
A word on those engravings. First of all, yesterday, Stephen Crowder was correct that there were casings, that they had engravings on them. And at least one piece of what was on there was correct, the anti-fascist writings and logos. As for the trans reference, that's unclear. The bullet that they said hit Charlie had words on it that were notices bulges, OWO, what is this? And that appears to be a reference to furry culture, which is part of the trans community. It's a bizarre sort of offshoot of the weird trans thing. You can see this from online. It's a meme, and it has some meaning for these weird, bizarre, furry culture people. And also it's used by gamers connected to that culture. Who the fuck knows? I'm sorry, but it's something very bizarre. And we're trying, my mom always used to say when I was growing up, I cannot respond to irrational behavior rationally. And that in a way is what we're trying to do here.
This wasn't spur-of-the-moment rage. This was a manifesto in brass. Some of his messages on Discord were also found.
Yeah, that's a great breakdown, Jennifer. So who was Robinson messaging?
Well, that remains to be seen because we don't know a whole lot about these messages other than what was said in the news conference this morning. Utah Governor Spencer Cox gave a little bit of detail about it and said that authorities had talked to a friend of Tyler's who had shared messages with him that he had seen. It's not even clear whether the messages were sent to him. We can infer that, I guess, but it's not clear if there was a group or not, or if it was just this one person who was seeing these messages in which he made reference to dropping the gun somewhere and wrapping it in a towel, which of course we already knew because the authorities had already retrieved the rifle. So not a whole lot there, except for the fact that he was on this platform. Discord has come out within the past couple of hours and has said that there was not any sort of planning in his exchanges with his friends, not like we have seen with some of the other mass shooting cases that were horrifically tied to Discord in the past, where people actually had plans. In one case, someone was streaming himself in the bathroom before he went on a shooting rampage. So it's interesting because these shooters, they're loners in a sense, but they also seem to want to connect. They want to be telling other people about what they're doing, and Discord is one place that they're doing that.
While the chats don't prove planning or motive on their own, they reveal a suspect immersed in digital spaces where violence is trivialized and turned into memes. It's another reminder that radicalization today doesn't happen in back rooms. It happens on servers and screens. And when your bullets carry more words than your mouth, you're not just trying to kill a man, you're trying to send a sermon. Governor Spencer Cox tells future details about Robinson.
They are gathering evidence, interviewing known friends, people around the suspect. What we know so far, there are a couple things that we can confirm that have been reported. We can confirm that again, according to family and people that we're interviewing, he does come from a conservative family, but his ideology was very different than his family, and so that's part of it. We do know that the roommate that we had originally talked about, we can confirm that roommate is a boyfriend who is transitioning from male to female. So we know that piece. I will say that person has been very cooperative with authorities, and we have additional evidence, forensic evidence that has been processed. We'll be sharing that when charges are filed on Tuesday. So everything that we know confirms that this is the person. The why behind this, again, we're all drawing lots of conclusions and how someone like this could be radicalized. And I think that those are important questions for us to ask and important questions for us to answer.
The governor also says Tyler Robinson's path to radicalization wasn't random, it was digital. He described the 22-year-old as spending years in the dark corners of the internet, drifting through gaming communities, message boards, and social media feeds that pushed him deeper into extreme leftist ideology. Cox warned this wasn't just one man's crime, but a symptom of algorithms and echo chambers weaponizing ideology. Yet the official motive remains unconfirmed, leaving America to confront how online spaces breed offline violence.
That this was a very normal young man, a very smart young man, 4.0 student, I think a 34 on the ACT, went to my alma mater, Utah State University, but was only there for a very short amount of time. I mean, dropped out after less than one semester, and it seemed to happen kind of after that, after he had moved back to the southern part of Utah. Clearly, there was a lot of gaming going on. Friends that have confirmed that there was kind of that deep, dark internet, the Reddit culture, and these other dark places of the internet where this person was going deep. And you saw that on the casings. I think I didn't have any idea what those inscriptions, many of those inscriptions even meant, but they are, certainly the memification that is happening in our society today.
The governor also says Robinson isn't talking, not a word. He's sitting in a cell silent while the evidence screams louder by the hour. Rifle found, surveillance footage tracked, family tip confirmed, a case that builds itself even without a confession. The aftermath isn't about one man, it's about us. Charlie Kirk's death has become a mirror, showing a country where political disagreement now flirts with assassination. Leaders have rushed to issue statements. Some call for calm, others pour gasoline. Either way, the nation is on edge. Senator Bernie Sanders addresses Americans. Take a look.
We make our case to the American people at the local, state, and federal levels, and we hold free elections in which the people decide what they want. That's called freedom and democracy. And I want as many people as possible to participate in that process without fear. Freedom and democracy is not about political violence. It is not about assassinating public officials. It is not about trying to intimidate people who speak out on an issue. Political violence, in fact, is political cowardice. It means that you cannot convince people of the correctness of your ideas, and you have to impose them through force. Every American, no matter what one's political point of view may be, must condemn all forms of political violence and all forms of intimidation. We must welcome and respect dissenting points of view. That's what our Constitution is about. That's what our Bill of Rights is about. That, in fact, is what freedom is about.
He is right to warn that ideological battles turn into armed confrontations. Democracy itself is at risk. Sanders urged Americans to reject hate, defend debate, and reclaim peaceful political discourse. But is it too late? Right now, debate halls feel like battlegrounds. Are we ready to admit America's greatest threat isn't abroad, it's within? The trial of Tyler Robinson isn't just about a young man with a rifle. It's about whether America can confront the monster it has become. Was this ideology, mental illness, online radicalization, or simply a society that's lost the ability to disagree without violence? Let us know in the comments section. What do you think it was?